Hello and welcome back to Bampla. So today we have our DM segment. Because we value you, we hear you and we see you, we're always checking our messages to address any concerns or queries that you might have on parenting. And together with our viewers, we would like to help you answer them. So today we have a message in the DM by one mom called Kathy. And it goes, "Hi Bamplav, I have a daughter, 5 years old now, but she still can't talk well. I feel so bad when I hear other kids teasing her and laughing at her every word. It also hurts her that she cannot mention certain words well. I don't know how to deal with this. I need your help." So ladies, how can we help?
Kathy. We really hear her and see her. I think I read somewhere about, late talkers, and it said that 70 to 80% of them really catch up with their peers when they start school eventually. And to get worried, how old is she again? 5.
Yes, she's 5.
Yeah, and what I hear from her is she didn't speak certain words, so I feel like there are words that she speaks well, and she's just struggling with a few words. So what I would encourage her to do is just continuously talk, always communicate with your child. Talk and talk and talk. Even if you're not a talker, you'll be forced to talk. Okay, can we have this? You want something? Yes, talk back to me. Yes, mommy, do you want this? Okay, and then read to them. Reading to them also really helps to catch their vocabulary, and they'll learn new words. I think I would advise those for now. Just read, sing to them, just communicate to them constantly.
Yeah. So I feel that, so I would like to bring this into the context of this pre-COVID period. So this child was 3 years old during COVID, right?
Yeah.
And that's really the time when, they are cementing their vocabulary. They were talking before, maybe a few words here and there, but she sounds to me like an only child in their home. So, I think the first thing we should point out is that you really need to seek medical attention. Go to a speech therapist, pediatrician who can give you advice on where to go, so that they can distinguish if really you have a talking is it a disability delay, maybe you have delayed speech, or if it's something that you can work on, because I also believe in the power of conversations. There was a time, if you're a parent and then your child is there, it's difficult to engage completely with a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old. So they speak up words better once they're in school with their peers. So maybe now she's 5, now you're putting her in the company of other children, and that's really what's caused the delay. She may be an introverted person. Some of us have extroverted children, so they will find who to talk and they will talk even if there is nobody. But their children have met who they'll keep quiet. If nobody speaks to them, nobody addresses them, they'll keep quiet. And the only way you can foster speech in a child is by speaking to them, so that they can respond to you and you engage, you keep having conversations with them. So if you have ruled out the medical issue, which is speech delays, then it's mostly conversations, and give her time. These things hurt you mostly, the parent, because you feel bad about what's happening to the child. But there's also foundations. Just instill in your child strength, and let me just talk. There's something I've noticed. English speakers, let's say an Englishman learning a foreign language, they always fear to say certain words wrong. Have you ever engaged with a Frenchman? They will blunder and butcher your English language until they learn it. They don't fear, without fear or favor. And you'll find that here, when people are learning English, the foreigners will they'll do whatever it takes. People will laugh at them, correct them, but it will never deter them from learning the language. Whereas other European countries, or other languages generally speaking, when English people are trying to learn another language,
I think you've gone
they don't want
Sorry, I'll interrupt you. Even in school, those who fear Mbogo, they would not.
They wouldn't talk.
wouldn't learn.
That is true.
They wouldn't learn.
And this is a 5-year-old, but as we were 12, 13, 15, 17, but fearing to talk
because we are,
Yeah, so maybe you also need to instill into that child's confidence and esteem and security in what I'm saying. Me, I've understood what I want to say. You may not be understanding it, but also you try to understand me. Why always me to understand what I'm saying?
I try and understand what I'm saying.
So I think maybe build. But I think I also believe in the power of conversations. If you keep interacting with a child and speaking and allowing them to make mistakes and fail, they will be able to speak.
They will be. So because I have dealt with a with my son delayed to speak, I first of all I'm a bit worried that your child is 5 and they are not saying much. I think it is a point of concern, and I will pick up from where Pumla started, which is seek medical help as soon as you can. Please do go visit a pediatrician who can help diagnose, because delayed speech is a manifestation of something bigger. It could be in isolation, like maybe they've just taken long to speak, but many times delayed speech is a manifestation of something bigger, and we are seeing more and more of these delayed speech, behavioral issues amongst children, ADHD, attention disorder, and all of these things that are coming up, and autism and blah, 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 in our children in this day and age a lot more than we used to, unless when we were growing up. So please, I implore you, seek medical help. One of the things that I've discovered in this journey with my son is that a lot of parents bury their heads in the sand. Like, my child will talk, and I think also the community around them tells them, you're worrying about nothing. This is not the first child that has this is nothing. The child will speak. Just take them to school. I want to implore you, please avoid that just do this. Even taking to school should be a deliberate and well thought through plan based on either recommendation from your pediatrician or somebody who now understands what is wrong with your child. So seek medical help, and upon their recommendation, take your child to wherever it is that they need to be. So there are school helps, but I think it helps after you've created some interventions for the child, so that there's a basis that they have a better grasp of how to deal with, like, say, attention, or how to deal with other kids, or all these sensory things that we keep hearing about the environment. And so when you have done that, then you can take them to school so that they now can blend in with other children. So I think for me, if there's any, because they've already talked about talking, which is something I did with Micah, they encouraged us to talk to him. Talk to him like he's going to respond to you, even if he's not going to respond, because you're building his vocabulary and he's soaking in as much information. Eventually he started to say the words that we were talking about back in the day, so now he can express himself, he can create sentences, he can have conversations, but that's because we kept talking, we kept reading. Music is also a really good tool, so do that. But I want to emphasize, please go see a doctor, go see a pediatrician.
What do you guys think about, so my worry, like, I've always had this problem with baby talk to children. So there are children, I'll tell you, who will take, they're like, children are sponges, right? So they'll take on everything you give them. So I might speak with you baby talk, but it will never affect the way you speak later. But there are children I have found that baby talk carries on. And they keep on, because they have an I don't want to say, like, an innate an issue. There's already something underlying there. So all they needed was for you to speak to them. And I've always had to talk,
like, just say a word.
I can't talk to you.
Just say hello, you're beautiful. You're great.
I don't understand what you're saying.
I'm an advocate for baby talk once in a while.
I'm not saying baby talk is bad or whatever, but I don't know, that baby talk thing.
But I guess let's avoid it, considering the sort of era we are in. I think talk to your child right from when they are like babies. And I think she also talked about the emotional aspect. I think for me, what helped me gain strength was, one, that we were doing something about it, and that we were seeing progress. Of course, if you're not doing anything about it, you're going to see the same thing. The progress might be there, but it will be very very minimal. If you have engaged some interventions and some therapists and whatever, then you start to see progress. Or if you're doing the things that we are talking about deliberately, which is reading to your child, talking to your child, singing with them, and being intentional about, say, play dates, you know, with kids who are great in terms of socializing and can talk and have like really great vocabulary, then you'll start to see improvement. But just to encourage you that it gets better. I know you said she's 5, so I'm really concerned about that, but you still have a window to try and get her help. So do something about it and encourage her. And when she says things, praise her, reward her, recognize her, and that will also encourage her. She's like, oh, mommy's happy when I talk. Mommy's happy when I say this. So exactly. But it gets better.
Yeah, it does get better. And Mom Kathy, your concern is valid. We don't want to bury our heads in the sand and just comfort you and advise you, and you can wait, interact, because your concern is valid. A 5-year-old ideally should be speaking and communicating clearly. So number 1, seek medical help and let a pediatrician advise, diagnose and advise, and maybe connect you to a speech therapist who can help you going forward if in fact there is a problem. But otherwise, interact, engage, and have conversations with your child. We have so many Bump Love viewers on this show. Do you have a child who has delayed to speak? Or do you know anybody who has a child with this problem? If you do, what interventions did they do? What worked and what did not work? Please advise us. Please put your comments in the comment section so we can all help Mom Kathy and moms out there who might be, and dads as well, who might be facing a similar problem. So until next time, with love from Bump Love.